Oh,
Now, switching gears real quick, let's talk about Hector Garcia. Had a big fight with Tank Davis, came up short. What do you think about the fight, and what do you think about how is Hector doing right now?
I thought it was a very competitive fight. I thought the momentum changed dramatically when the fight broke out outside the ring. You know, I don't want to put too much on the referee, but in all my years, I've never seen them stop a fight inside the ring for a fight outside the ring, unless it got to, the ring itself, like fan man or something of that nature. And, boxing, like all sports, momentum's a mother effer, right? So I thought we were off to our best start in the 8th round. I thought we were in a dead heat competitive fight. And unfortunately, the ref stopped the lull in the fight. That said, does that mean Tank wouldn't have stopped him in the 9th, in the 10th, in the 11th, and the 12th? We'll never know, but obviously he has the dynamic, he has the great equalizer, and he could have probably turned the fight on a dime if he catches you at any given time. But that said, momentum's a mother effer, and I thought it totally changed the whole dynamic of the fight. But give credit to Tank, he had to go through the same circumstances that we did as the fight stopped, and he did what he had to do, and he capitalized, and that shows you why he's a great fighter.
Now, Hector did come out with some comments that were pretty controversial. He was saying that he thinks that they planned that. Do you think that they planned that, or do you think it was just the referee, made a mistake?
Well, I think he in his mind, he may think that because I think one of the guys that got into the altercation is a friend of Tank's.
Okay.
Right. So I think what he's getting at in his mind, maybe that they did something like that. You know what I mean? For Tank to stop the fight. In my mind's eye, I don't think it was planned. I think
because that's a stretch, right? Saying that.
Yeah, I think circumstances happen, and then everybody becomes kind of a conspiracy theorist, and so forth. But I think it was just things that parlayed itself, and one thing led to another. In terms of when the altercation happened. Let's say the altercation happens. If the referee, like most referees, would have just kept his composure and realized, hey, I'm the referee. I'm not a fan. I'm not here to watch what's going on outside the ring. I'm here to ref what's going on inside the ring. And had he made them continue to just fight, then obviously if Gervonta had a plan or some sort, obviously that would have never took place. Unfortunately, I think events happened where that happened, and it snowballed to where the referee kind of lost focus, and he stopped the fight, and I think that's what transpired in that.
Hector, he started off real well, and then around 6, 7, he started getting a little bit more braver, started stepping the Tank a little bit more. Do you feel like that was right of him to do, or do you think he kind of fell into Tank's trap a little bit, trying to exchange too much with him?
No, you know what? I think he was fighting the perfect fight, right? I think if you look at the 7th round, you can go back and look at the film. If anybody looks at it, you'll see the 7th round. Tank asks, hey, what round is it? They're not sure what round it is. They finally let him know, hey, it's in the 7th round. His legs are hanging off the stool, and he's like, Jesus Christ, it's the 7th round, right? So we were getting to him. We were stepping up. Everything was fine. I just think, look, when the lull in the action happened, and you don't do anything for a minute or so, and your body starts to run cold, and sometimes you could lose focus. I think what really happened is Hector lost a little bit of focus, didn't keep the distance, and he obviously had a better jab. He has a great amateur pedigree, so from distance he was going to be unbelievable, and went right back to it like everything was just happening the way it was, say a minute or 2 minutes ago, and just got caught with a great shot.
Now, at the end of the round, right, he came back and he started saying, I can't see. But, his eyes weren't shut or anything like that. Was it just one of those things where he just kind of, I don't want to, put him in a bad spot, but he just kind of like checked out a little bit?
Well, I think, like I said, I think once the melee happened with the fans, they stopped the fight. I think he lost focus. He went out there, got caught with a good shot. And when you get hit with a good shot like that, a lot of times if you talk to any top fighters, he got hit right around, kind of the ear side in here. And if you talk to any fighters or you've been around the sport long enough, a lot of times what happens, you will black out for a second, right? So
It may have just been like he was concussed, didn't know where he was at the time a little bit.
You'll black out for a second. Usually, you'll come to, but sometimes one or two things happen with fighters. They've been through it, they'll come through, or it comes through sooner rather than later, and you push on. In his case, probably when he blacked out, started getting a little bit, disoriented, a little nervous, and I said, Hector, how are you feeling? And at that point, when he was telling me, hey man, I can't see, at that point, I'm not going to send him out there, you know what I mean, to get hurt. He's got a family.
You got to listen to your fighter. Yeah.
And he's still world champion at 130 pounds, and he can go back down there, defend his title, or unify the belts, and move forward with his career. So he'll truly be the only one that knows definitely in his heart what the situation was.
What really happened?
Yeah, I'm not in his body, and nobody's ever going to truly know that but him himself.
Now, after the fight, or about a week or two after the fight, he was complaining. I don't know if he was complaining or he was mentioning that he was still kind of seeing stars, or having problems with his vision.
Well, there's definitely his eye. There's no doubt about it. Was bloodshot red all the way through. So the eye, the white of the eye was pure. You know what bloodshot is, and then when you've seen like blood in the thing. So that definitely did happen.
And how is the eye now? Is he fine, or is he recovered? Does he feel fine? No lingering effects from anything?
He feels good. Obviously, we're going to take time off, and we got to be smart about this. He just, he had an amazing year, beating Chris Colbert, winning the world championship. You think about it, all within a 12 to 13 month span, he went to beat Chris Colbert, wins the world championship, and fought Gervonta Davis. So he had 3 fights in about 11 or 12 month span. So he definitely needs some time off. And then obviously with Tank getting the stoppage and the big punch, I think the prudent thing to do would be to allow him to take time off, let his body recuperate, and then bring him back and like I said, either defend the title or unify the titles.
Is he still going to be at 130? Did you feel like he was right at 135, or do you feel like he's a better fighter at 130?
Well, I think 30, 35, he could fight either or. I mean, you got to remember, when you're at 35, we fought the best. It was our first fight at 35, and we're fighting, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. I don't care what anybody says. Gervonta Davis, pound for pound, is one of the best fighters in the world. No two ways about it. And he's proven it time and time again. So from that perspective, I think he can fight anybody at 30 or 35. He's just got to do what's going to be best for what the fans want to see. What's best for him, and so he's about now at this point. You want to fight the best, the biggest fights, and so whatever opportunities present themselves in that light, that's what we're going to do.
All right, man. Thanks so much, Bob. Appreciate you.
Hey.